Today I'm going to react to a question period from January 29, 2024. It features Pierre Poilievre, Justin Trudeau, and a few others. So let's get started.
Minister back from his $80,000 vacation, which he got for free. He said, like most Canadians, friends welcomed him for that vacation. He took two, not one, but two private jets paid for by the taxpayer, burning 100 tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. He wants to tax the heat and the food of Canadians. Did he pay the full carbon tax on each of the 100 tons of emissions that he put into the atmosphere as part of his $80,000 vacation?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, the Conservative leader has simply no plan to address climate change in this country, no plan to increase the resilience of our communities in the fight against climate change. Warming climate...
Did you hear that guy in the background? You're causing it.
Warming climate causes droughts. Droughts damage crops. Damaged crops increase the cost of groceries. And yet, the Conservative Party cannot even agree on whether or not climate change is real. Mr. Speaker, we will achieve our emissions reductions, all the while sending Canadians checks to help with the costs of rising prices. They're a real solution.
So obviously, Justin Trudeau doesn't answer this question at all, which, by the way, is a very legitimate thing to ask. You champion this carbon tax. You just said that climate change is this emergency and you have all the solutions. The Liberal Party has all the solutions. Then what are you doing flying to Jamaica on a private jet? What message do you think that sends to a farmer that has a carbon tax now? Here's a carbon tax, but I'm going to go to Jamaica on a vacation. You could go on vacation in Canada. How do you justify doing that? It makes no sense. And if you're someone in Justin's Liberal Party, like one of these people in the background here, what do you think about this? It makes no sense. It's pretty much the most elitist thing you can do. It's so crazy.
Those gas emissions are driving up grocery prices. He put 100 tons of those emissions in the atmosphere for his personal vacation. This is high tax, high flying, high carbon hypocrisy. Yep. Meanwhile, Canadians in Edmonton were facing minus 50-degree temperatures on which they were paying carbon taxes just to heat their homes and stay alive. Given that he gives himself a free vacation at other people's expense, will he at least allow Canadians to heat their homes without his tax?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The Conservative leader likes to talk about the challenges Canadians are facing on the cost of living, but he refuses to take action in support of them. He chose to delay the passage of Bill C-59, which is also hurting his own caucus.
That's right.
Does the member for Battleford's Lloydminster now suddenly oppose maternity leave for adoptive parents? Surely the member for Cumberland Colchester won't back down on his advocacy to remove the GST on therapy and counseling services. While the Conservative leader is muzzling his own caucus and putting himself first, we'll keep putting Canadians.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
This one is just too easy. He walked into it. He had to muzzle a member from Newfoundland who called for an end to his leadership, joining another senator who did the same, because they understand that their constituents are literally starving and unable to heat their homes because the Prime Minister is quadrupling the carbon tax, doubling housing costs, and giving the worst inflation in 40 years. Why won't he listen to, instead of intimidating, his member for Newfoundland and put his leadership up to a review for...
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, over the course of the fall, we've announced projects on housing that are going to create 500,000 new homes across this country over the year. We're working hand in hand with community leaders, with mayors. We're making sure that we're moving forward on the priorities that are facing Canadians. In terms of standing up for his caucus, the leader across the way will not even mention the fact that the person sitting 3 seats to his left dined with a far-right conservative German politician and wants to abolish the United Nations. Is abolishing the United Nations now the official position of the Conservative Party of Canada?
The far-right boogeyman word. Does far-right even mean anything anymore? Far right just means conservative politician or has conservative views.
Well, they reject the Senate amendments so that the tax can come off farmers and food prices can come down.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
You know, Mr. Speaker, when the Conservatives talk about working families, everyone knows those are crocodile tears. This is the party.
That is an extraordinary statement. The Liberal Party has definitely become party for the rich. Look at the housing prices. The average working family absolutely cannot afford homes in most of Canada. Ontario, no. BC, no. Calgary now, no. Edmonton just has a housing crisis as well. It's gone everywhere. How's the working family being benefited by the Liberals being in power? That makes no sense, that statement.
Those are crocodile tears. This is the party that has voted against early learning and child care, a revolutionary national program which is bringing down costs for hundreds of thousands of families across the country and allowing women to go to work. These Conservatives have voted against the Canada Child Benefit, a huge support for families across the country. And, Mr. Speaker, they're going to vote against dental care too. Excellent.
That's such an easy thing to say, though. The Conservatives vote against all these programs that we want to have. Canada's economy, since Trudeau has been elected, is essentially flat. It's barely grown. We don't have the money to keep funding all these programs. Look at our healthcare system. Look at all these things we're supposed to be funding that aren't working. We can't just keep making new programs and then say, oh, you're voting against it. Where's the money coming from? We already have gone into a bunch of new national debt. So with that said, thank you for watching. I'll continue this video later on. There's a little bit more to this question period that I think would be good to cover. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.